Hello, church, and welcome to another daily devotion. I hope this finds you well. Have you ever had to move, pick up, and leave a place that you'd lived in for some time, where you had friends, you had roots, maybe you had family, and then you got another job, you got some opportunity, maybe you're going away to school, whatever it was, and you had to leave everything that was familiar. So when we're talking about covenant, perhaps the most famous is the one that God establishes with Abram. And here's what it says in Genesis 12. The Lord said to Abram, leave your country, your people, your father's household, and go to the land that I'll show you. I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you, and you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and curse those who curse you, and all the peoples on earth will be blessed through you. Whoa! And then just one chapter later, it says, Abraham went. Wow. So let me get this straight. God says, hey, I'm going to be with you. I'm going to promise to make you a great people, as many as the stars in the sky. You just have to pack up all your stuff and go. Leave to a land you've never been to, that you don't know anybody, and just follow where I tell you. I'll just keep talking to you. You just go. Which, by the way, is very similar to a Nazarene preacher who met some fishermen by a seashore. Yeah. I know you're fishing. I know you got your family here, Zebedee. I know. Come follow me. So in the promise of God, God says, I'm going to be with you. Right now, right as you're listening, right wherever you're at, I will be with you. But your side of the covenant is, what are you willing to give up? Are you willing to leave this stuff behind and trust fully in me where I tell you to go? That's the rub. It's tough. I find often we want to just hold on to everything we know. Yeah, I'll give God Sunday morning, and then the rest of the week, that's mine, right? I'll give God 1/10 of my stuff in tithe, but then the other 90%, I can do whatever I want. That's not exactly what I think God was talking about. It's tough. Abraham is so obedient. He decides he's just going to go. And in that small sentence, there's so much. Because it's about trusting God all in. It's like one of those World Series of poker games, and everybody's playing, and some guy all of a sudden, or some lady says, all right, you guys think you want to play? All my chips in here. I'm all in, God, wherever you take me. Most of us like a safety net underneath that kind of tightrope act. Most of us like to know there's a giant pillow when we jump out of the window, that there's something that's going to catch us, that we can see it, we can feel it. Abraham doesn't have any of that. And in a time when there's so much anxiety, there's so many different news feeds, and it can be confusing. What's right? What's wrong? When can we go back? Do we have to distance? Do we have to wear masks? Do we have to wear gloves? No. Yes. No. Are we going to go back partially or fully? Can we have 10 in worship or none at all? We can have 10 people, but then they all be distanced. What's going on here? And even more importantly in life, whatever we face, God asks you and I, through Christ, if we're going to be disciples, what are you prepared to leave behind? What are you prepared to let go to follow me into being a disciple, into a different kind of kingdom? You see, I think most of us are really good about believing in Jesus. But when it comes to actually giving things up and going where God would ask us to go, That might cost me something. That might not mean all the things I want to do, I can do anymore. God might ask me to live differently. Exactly. Two sides of a coin. Covenant doesn't go one way. We always want God to just give us whatever we need. God says, you have a role to play in this kingdom building too. So how about it, friends? As God calls your name, are you willing to leave some things behind to follow where God would call you this day? The world depends upon it. Salt isn't salty unless it's used for its purpose. May this find you well, with peace, but most especially with some courage to let go and let God have you. Amen.